Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to episode number 8 of How to Canon. As you see by the title, today I'm covering how to regen bust. Now, you probably saw this video I just posted like 2 days ago on this 240 regen buster, and this is probably like my third one of these. My best version so far. It's really nice. I love it. But anyway, so this is just normal 240 regen buster. No floating barrel, fancy crap. Though I will cover that a little bit later. So one thing you might notice right away, the two hybrid sands. If you're not familiar with how regen busting works, I'll explain why you need two right now. And also this massive propulsion might strike you, and I'll explain that as well right now. So first I'm going to start off with these red sands. So I have the normal red sand for the hammer. It gets pushed in by a piston right there, as you guys saw. And it right as the cannon's firing in the early stages. So before the hammer goes off, this piston actually pushes and drops a red sand into there, and then you know how that works. And then I have a slab bust one. Now this is usually how you see your hammer one. And the reason you need a hybrid sand for your slab bust is actually I'm getting way too ahead of myself. First, let me start off with the more basic thing, the hammer. Now, in order to slab bust, you need your hammer on 3 ticks. In order to slab bust. In order to regen bust, you need your hammer on 3 ticks. Now, if you didn't know, a 3-tick hammer, as in it comes off your propulsion and goes off 3 ticks later, the reason you need it to regen bust is a 3-tick hammer will stack 1 block higher than a 4-tick hammer. So a 4-tick hammer will stack up to about, relative to the barrel, it will stack up sand right there, and your red sand would be right there. Now, with the 3-tick hammer, it will stack up like this. So you have a block there, it's hybriding on this block, and actually breaking a hole that goes 1 block above your barrel. So you have an extra block of clearance, basically. So if I fly through here, there's an extra block above me, as you can see. And you need this because when regen busting with a 4-tick guider, with a 4-tick hammer, it actually makes it clip because it doesn't regen bust high enough. So that's why you need the massive propulsion. And this is enough to regen bust at 25 chunks. I have tested it, and I'll just give you the dimensions real quick. This is 10 long and 17 high. You could do like 12 and 15, that also works. But for a reason I went with 10. Well, I'll actually, because that booster is a 12 block booster, but then I have these 2 little extra blocks because the regen bust gets in the way of that. Alright, so anyways, so that's why you need a large amount of hammer, a large amount of propulsion. Damn, I'm getting confused. So if I just fire this off, it should be set to 1 shot here. Scatter's connected. So I'm just gonna fire this off real quick and demonstrate what I was just talking about. All right, so yeah, that 1 shot, of course, as you saw. Okay, and like I was saying, on the 3-tick hammer, that actually hybrided 1 block above the barrel. Alright, so now I come to these normal regen walls. Now these are the only types of regens you're really going to be able to cannon with a normal barrel like this, unless they only have, like, let's say, like 1 mine chat, then you can line it up with the little indented part of the mine chat. But, so in order to regen bust, first you're going to want to do your pre-stack. So it's kind of like you're nuking if you ever 2-shot nuke. Now, some people will tell you you have to like lower your guider, but no, that's completely false. All you have to do is put your hammer on 4 ticks. Put your hammer, slab bust on 4 ticks, disable any red sands, disable your scatter or hybrid TNT, whatever you want to call it. And then let me just paste this in. And then just fire and pre-stack, of course, and oops. So that's gonna pre-stack. Alright, so that's stacked nicely. And just to check it is the correct guider level. Yeah, it's good. Alright, now I'm using the mind chat method of regen busting. There is an order of entities method you can use, but I'm not going to go into that today. Alright, so that's let me explain that real quick. So this is your guider. So now your slab bust and your initial hybrid, your initial hybrid sand, that's what it's called, because this is going to be what's going to be the first thing to hybrid. So that's going to shoot down at this slab level. So it's significantly, well, not significantly, but it's a decent bit away from your hammer. So here's your slab bust and your hybrid sand. Up here is your hammer, and within that same block but slightly lower, I think I did that wrong. Yeah, and within that same block but slightly lower would be your sand. If I could put a trapdoor there. Is that gonna float? All right. So your slab bust and initial hybrid sand are down here. So what's gonna happen is your hammer and your slab bust actually blow up at the same time. That's how the tunneling effect works. The tunneling effect works, if you didn't know that. So technically, your hammer and your slab bust are both exploding at the same time. So your hammer explodes and your slab bust explodes. But the thing is, your slab bust is sitting inside of this red sand. So that's gonna hybrid. So your hammer and your slab bust blow up at the same time, and now there's a hole here, right? Let me just store that. So there's a hole here now, right? But the thing is, your sand's sitting here. While your hammer goes off, well, it'd actually be like right here. While your hammer goes off, your sand's sitting there. So now there's a hole. Now there's nothing here, right? So one tick after your hammer, your sand's gonna stack. But the thing is, your slab bust blew up in the same tick as your hammer. So when that sand stacks, it's going to be there, but there's also gonna be a hole. So what happens is the sand is there and it pushes in the water, because now it's like this. It would be about up here, and then you now have that happen. Now let me real quick fix this up and demonstrate that working. Alright, so hammer's on 3 ticks, scatter's disabled, both red sands enabled. I'm gonna go ahead and fire, and this should regen bust nice and clean. Alright, there you go. You can see that regen busted right at barrel height. And even with the 3-tick hammer stacking one more block upwards, you see that it didn't clear it by a block like you do when normally hybriding. So if there was a 4-tick hammer, the hole would actually be down here. And then, of course, from then you would have clipping issues. You'd have to lower your barrel completely. And then if you run into another regen wall, you're kind of screwed there. Now the downside to this method of regen busting, I'll actually show once we get past this wall. And actually, after you do this, you just want to one by one shoot pieces of red sand into here. It's quite expensive, and that's another disadvantage to this. And so let me just hybrid this with the using the one-shot sand and the hammer. I have a slab bust enabled still just because. Alright, so we include that. So now you just pre-stack on the next wall. Now you see this one's this one's offset by 1 block, and I'm actually cannoning on the side of it. And that poses one major issue with this method of regen busting, the mind chat method. I'm sure there is a fix to it. I haven't looked too far into it because I don't really play very many, I don't really play servers right now where regen busting is a big thing. So I haven't had time to look into it, but if you guys have any suggestions, I'll leave it down in the comments. So I'm gonna go ahead and pre-stack, disable red sands. Go ahead and fire. That's rather strange. Oh, okay, yeah, I still had my my normal guider in. Sorry about that. Forgot to replace that. If you know that it would only stack half because I have a trapdoor guider on my sand, which means that they're kind of in the same blockage, which means the hammer power doesn't affect the sand velocity as much, thus not stacking all the way. So that's stacked up nicely. Yep, that's stacked up nicely. So now I put in the trapdoor and slab guider, and I'll explain what the big issue is with using this method momentarily. Bear with me. Whoops, enable that, switch to 3-tick hammer. Don't place a redstone there. Alright. Whoops. Paste in my sand, and I can just go ahead and fire. And again, this should regen bust. Alright, now you're posed with an issue. So your hammer's right here, your barrel height is right here, and you have this gap. Now, there's a way you can do this, solve it. You just need to lower your guider. You just lower your guider by 1 block, which means I have to actually lower this by 1 block. And you just normally one-shot this on this guider height, because you can stack on there. That's the only unfortunate thing. Of course, it's not too much of a problem. It's just more inconvenient. It's not as nice as having the order of entities method. Now, what the order of entities is you'd basically have this slab, the same slab thing, but your hammer and sand are on the same guider. What happens is, using order of entities, you can also have an order of entities scatter, and it works the same way as a one-shot nuke would do, because in the order the entities are rendered, these scatter would because here, even if I enable my scatter, it won't scatter down this, and my red sand doesn't stay up here like it's supposed to. I don't even know where the hammer red sand goes, to be completely honest. It kind of just breaks and disappears. So you can have an order of entities scatter. So after that slab bus hybrids in the same tick as the hammer, the sand stacks and traps the red sand and the scatter along with it, and you can just easily scatter down your stack. So this is what this wall would look like about. Well, it would actually scatter quite a bit more because I have a pretty decent scatter on this one. So not only do you not have to 1-by-1 shoot red sand, you don't have any problems with going through walls this way, as you would with just using this type of method. So I don't really know too much about order of entities regen busting. I'm not a total expert in order of entities. This is the method I prefer to use, just because it more suits my liking, and plus it gets a little bit messy with sand comp wiring when using order of entities, and I like keeping things nice and clean. So that's how you regen bust on a basic level. Again, for these walls. Now, if you want to get through multiple mine chat regions, you're actually going to need a floating barrel regen buster, which I'll just show you quickly right now. All right, so I'm here at my 255 floating barrel regen buster. I don't think I've showed this off before. That was strange. But yeah. So these are the kind of things you need to get through mine chat regions. You could do like smaller versions, like I have a 231, basically same exact design down here. But mine chat regions can really only be rated on the indents, and if you try to rate it through this, it creates problems. So after you one-shot this, it's hybrided, you go ahead and you stack inside of it. So right here, and when you do that, that's strange. When you do that and do your pre-stack and getting ready to regen bust again, it's going to generate a little block. Now that block actually gets in the way of your slab bust and red sand. So we'll go right here, and that block would be right here. It would be this block. So your red sand and slab bust are trying to go in through there, but they get stopped and they clip on that block right there. And ooh, that was not good. Why are those sources? Those should not be sources. That's very strange. Give me a second. Let me make sure these aren't sources. All right. Anyway, so like I was saying, it's gonna gen a block right where this is coming through, and that means you're not gonna be able to two-shot regen bust it, because you can't even get your slab bust and sand and red sand into that that hole. Same thing with order of entities, because regardless, this still needs to be on this bottom block right here. or on that slab guider, whilst this is kind of seen like this. So that's unfortunate. And that makes these regens so overpowered until, of course, being said, invented the floating barrel. But enough of history class, I guess. So anyways, you just put in your normal guider. I've already done the pre-stacking just to save time. Of course, with the 4-tick hammer. That's on 3 ticks, that's on 3 ticks. So I already have this set up. I do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and regen bust this. And this side part's not watered. Alright, so there you go. That regen busted, as you can see there. I made it flow in. Don't know why that's cobble. Can't tell you why. I don't think that second block was a source for whatever reason. Yeah, I don't think that second block was a source. There should be a source there, though, so it would look something like this. Alright, now, of course, you do the 1x1 red sand thing, which unfortunately has to be done with this method. Alright, and if you want to save some TNT, you can disable your slab bus, but this is, actually, you don't need sand. But since this is just a test server, I'm just going to go ahead and fire like a savage. Alright, so that's good. That actually froze up these 2 top ones, which is really nice and makes your life and my life more convenient. Oh, one cannoning at 255. It might just be my cannon, or they might all do that. I'm not too sure. Alright, so now I'm going to want to shift over my barrel by 1. Because, of course, the next mine chat regen is 1 more block over. So if I just do this, remove that guider, put in the normal guider, you know how that goes. And then do my my pre-stack right here. That is not going to clip, correct? Yep, not going to clip. So I'm going to go ahead and just do everything. Disable red sands, 4-tick hammer. You guys know the drill by now. And this should be standard procedure for any cannon you're using this method of regen busting. So that's going to go ahead and stack right there. That's very strange. Small problem, some dispensers down here were actually backwards, which meant this thing didn't have enough power to carry the slab bus down to bedrock, because I'm actually using a very precise amount of hammer for this. So there was just a world edit glitch or something with these dispensers were backwards, but I fixed it now and pre-stacked already. So what we're going to go ahead and do is bust this next mine chat regen. And of course, you just repeat this process over and over again, depending on how many they have, except one problem I run into is you regen bust this. Maybe you're not quite at Y255, so there may be a block there and a block there. That's what you'll see a lot. So it stays maybe like this. And there's still lava sources right here. And you really just have to one-shot these. So get a trapdoor guider, probably for this thing. Get a trapdoor guider, stack up to that, and then come in and hybrid with your hammer. It will remove this water, so now this the lava that would be here is just going to flow down smoothly. And then you can shoot right through onto the next regen. And actually, since this lava wasn't here, it actually created a bunch of problems. But anyways, that lava would, that water wouldn't be there. And you'd actually be able to neatly one-shot this and get through. At least based on my experience. Alright, so let me quickly check this. Yeah, it should be good. Yeah, it should be good. So then, of course, standard procedure. Probably have the gif of this by now. Is the correct barrel in? Yes, sir. And you just go ahead and, yeah, again, do this for every, I'm not sure they enable both red sands, to be honest. Yep, no, I didn't. Well, that's probably gonna nuke. Or just straight up hybrid. Oh, well, never mind. That was my bad. Let me check this. Yeah, that's a proper height. My bad, forgot the red sand, but of course that proved costly in a raid. You'd have to freaking you'd have to one-shot that stack and then try again, really. I just can't mess up too badly because again it is a regen wall, just gonna regen back in. Alright, so that regen busted nice. Again, why are these all sources? I don't remember making these all sources. I guess that's something accidental. So again, just rinse and repeat for all further regen walls. You know, the single stack. So that's basically all there really is to regen busting. There are things like regen filters which are a lot more complicated. You can't really regen bust them with these types of methods. Maybe I'll make a video on that, going through different kinds of filters. But for now, that's all. Maybe that'll be next week. So stay tuned if you guys want to know how to do that. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys learned a thing or two about regen busting from this. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. And if you have any further questions or anything you're confused about, make sure to comment down below. I'll make sure to reply to any comments, any questions you have still, just to make sure you fully understand it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.